When did you make changes at work and how? To answer this interview question, use STAR method. STAR. Paint a scenario for them, showcasing the situation, the task, what your task was, your actions, and what was the result. What do I mean? You have to choose a specific situation. Think about a time you identified a situation, a problem in your care home. That is the situation. Now you have to describe the problem. What was the problem? You identified it. You identified something, yeah? You have to describe it. What was it? You describe it. That is the situation. And after that, you have to explain what your actions is. What did you do towards the problem to provide solution? And after you performed your actions, after you did something, what was the result? Okay, so telling them when you made changes and how you did it. So let's take for example, um working as a healthcare assistant, there was a time I noticed that the residents were not happy with their activities. Reason because they were very confused. They don't know what they would do next. Okay, so it became stress to both the resident and the staff because they always come to ask, what are we doing? What are we doing? Even after telling them, because they've got dementia, they don't remember nothing. Okay, so what you did was you brought up a solution because you have identified why they're always coming back to ask the same question, stressing everybody up. Okay, so that was a problem you identified. So what you did was you communicated with your senior or with the manager, suggesting that you make paintings on the paper and paste it in strategic places. That paper will explain what they will do the next day, or what they are going to do the next hour, or you paste it in their rooms, at the corridors, everywhere they can see. Okay, and after that, the resident became aware of what they are going to do at every point in time, and that reduced the stress of and the confusion of always asking what are they up to, what are we gonna do, what are we. So just paint a scenario for them. You can also I always use personal care, because this is what is very, very common. You can also say that you noticed that this resident always gets wet even after giving him or her personal care. So you find out, you noticed it, and you paid an attention. You find out that actually the resident was not even, is not is not urine. Whenever they are taking water, the cup they used to drink water used to be heavy, so the water will always slip off and goes into their clothes, so they're always wet. And whenever you check the pad, the continence support, sorry, it becomes a bit dry, but the clothes will be wet. So you noticed it and you discuss it with the senior or with your manager to see if they can change the cup she used to drink. So they changed the cup from the heavy one to a lighter one, and that thing stopped. You no longer change so many clothes to the resident. You don't change their clothes oftentimes anymore, because you have find out what the problem is and the solution have been provided. You can say anything. You can even say that when you are working as a healthcare assistant, you have responsibility of giving medication. You administer medication. So this resident is very difficult. You notice they don't like to take their medication. So what you did was you whenever you want to give them medication, you go with so many options. You go with tea, coffee, juice. You go with all these things, and along the line you find out this resident love coffee, whereas you used to go with just juice or water or tea. But because you go with many things, you find out they love coffee, and whenever they see the coffee, they take coffee and they accept the medication and take it. You find out, and since you notice that this can solve the problem, you now go to give them medication with coffee. Since their care plan has nothing against coffee, so you give them coffee, you know while giving them medication. So you can, anything you think or you feel you have experienced as a carer that it's a problem. You can even say you have a resident who do not like to have personal care, don't like to have wash or shower. You noticed it, and they love to stay in their room. Okay, so you study this resident and you find out that during the day they are more active, so during the day you offer to give shower and they will accept, and that was how you were able to find out that they don't need to be approached for personal care in the morning, rather they do it during the day. And after, since you notice that you give them personal care during the day, in the afternoon, not in the morning, the stress of people recording not declining personal care has stopped, and you passed it on to your colleagues, and there's no more problem. Just use star method. Find something you feel is challenging, a situation, paint it as a scenario and tell them. That is all.